And now, Strategic Command World War II War in the Pacific. Welcome back, everybody. This is Malbeefance, and this is episode 6 of our series replay for Strategic Command World War II War in the Pacific. Let's go ahead and jump right into the turn. You may have remembered from last episode, the British got a major naval victory over a couple of Japanese destroyers up there at the northwestern tip of the Straits of Malacca. Japan celebrates the capture of the Dutch East Indies. Unfortunately, that was one of the pieces of bad news from last episode. All right, President FDR, would you like to set up an Office of Strategic Services with William J. Donovan as director? This is actually a bit of a help for the Allied side. Saying yes to this will greatly increase not only the possibility of partisan activity, but also the effect it will have when it occurs. No longer will Japan be able to afford to leave important cities free of units. Setting up the OSS and providing it with adequate resources will cost 100 production points at 25 per turn. Would you like to authorize this? Actually, yeah, I would. Giving the computer the extra advantages that I did everything that I can do to help hinder them is a good idea, despite the fact that we know what this is eventually going to grow into. All right, Axis raiders disrupt USA-Australia convoys, so that means they must have gotten a submarine down there in the south, I'm guessing. British Empire develops anti-tank weapons level 1. That'll come in handy. And they also develop amphibious warfare level 1. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to use that with British forces. Let me see. Also, logistics development is now level 2. USA develops heavy bombers level 2. Naval weaponry for the U.S. is up to 34%. We definitely need a breakthrough there. Long-range aircraft up to 80%. And there is our ledger for the up-and-coming turn. All right, so the computer is figuring supply. The Japanese invade Portuguese Timor. Now, I remember when I was playing the Japanese, this was a decision point for me whether I wanted to take Timor or not, if I wanted to take Dili. The drawback to this is that Portuguese India could join the Allies. So we'll see how that goes. It's not a guarantee. All right, so my submarine up there north of the Solomons under attack. Some Japanese heavy showing up off of the coast of New Guinea. Uh-oh. All right, so my Chinese defense is taking a bit of a beating, at least in the center there. All right, well, thank you for letting me know where 2 of your carriers are. All right, anything else? Nope. Good. The defeat in central China was bad enough. Okay, so my British raiders there in the Indian Ocean are helping cut off some supplies coming out of Burma. Second Army was destroyed. So it doesn't tell me if Portuguese India has come over to our side yet. There is at least one Japanese naval unit currently in or near Buin in the Solomon Islands. Thank you much. He may be in the port here, somewhere around here. All right, so that is all the information we're going to get, and that's all of the reinforcements. All right, so let's go ahead and get this submarine out of here. Getting back so he can repair himself. Repair the West Virginia. Got anybody else down here? Okay, so there's that Japanese sub I was mentioning earlier. So the fleet isn't doing anything at the moment. Okay, so he's moved out. He's moved on somewhere. All right, well, if we got a submarine in the area, let's go ahead and get my battleship a little bit better protected. Hold on to Buna as long as we can. I'm just going to organize the U.S. naval forces and the Australian naval forces. I'm just going to get them organized into a task force before I try pushing up here. Really, basically, what I got them doing right now is just defense, because they're not going to last long against Japanese air power when all I've got to defend them in the air is one squadron of U.S. Marine Corps fighters. Now I got to get these tanks out of here sometime. I know, no time like the present, but I want to save that for a moment, just in case I need the resources elsewhere. All right, so let's get the general underway. And get this garrison out there. Upgrade Enterprise's aircraft while I got the chance. So it looks like everybody here is upgraded. All right. I'm not going to speed run them over to the Coral Sea because I want the rest of the fleet to catch up with them. But that also allows me to put the Nevada into Pearl Harbor for repairs instead of going all the way back to the West Coast. All right, anybody else on this side of the water? Doesn't look it. All right. So now, go ahead and get him out of there. And hopefully I'm not about to do something stupid. All right. So now I probably won't be able to get him up to full strength having him here, but at least he's on land. I don't have to worry about a surprise attack from enemy naval or air forces. And he's in a decent defensive position in case they try pushing SNLF forces further south. Or SL, Special Naval Landing Force, SLNF forces. They're Japanese Marines, okay? I'm just calling them Marines. All right, so still trying to push these submarines through so I can start interfering with supplies. All right, can we get the general up to full strength? Nope, not yet. All right, so the Dutch Navy is still with us despite the fall of the East Indies. It's going to take me a couple of turns to get them up to full strength, but that is all right. Better to have them than not have them. Bring this submarine back here to Perth for repairs. Now, in the meantime, I do believe that the Japanese Navy has cleared out of the area for the time being. So I'm going to take the opportunity to go ahead and get these ships back up to strength. Alright. Yeah, that's it. Goa. I never remember that town's name. Alright, so moving on to Southeast Asia here in India, Burma area. Reinforce the Flying Tigers there. Now basically what I got to do here is hold the line until I can get more troops over there. Alright, so that gets that unit up to full strength. Is he close enough? Okay, so yeah, so if I pull him back one more, he will be in command and control range. Alright, so that'll help them out with their defensive capabilities and their supply situation. Alright, so moving on to China. I know I need to get, these guys are really bad, they're in bad shape. At least he's behind the river, that'll help with his defense. Ouch. Okay, so the odds are the same either way. But at least that might slow them down a little bit. Too bad I don't have a third unit. I seriously doubt that garrison would have the strength to go ahead and get that last point. And I don't want to give up the position. All right, so anything else? They're working on fortifications. And where is... I moved him already, the guy that I was trying to send all the way up here. All right. We've got a pretty decent defense going on up here in the north. I wouldn't call it great. But I wouldn't call it bad either. Plug that hole. All right. So that's going to take care of the Chinese mainland, with the exception of reinforcing him. So yeah, so it looks like we're getting a big push on Fuzhou here. They've got 2 armies down there now, and this is about the best I'm going to be able to do for these guys. I just don't have anything to spare to help them out. At least not at the moment. I have no idea how long they're going to be able to hold on. So anything more I want to do with Russian forces? Nope. All right, so I think that takes care of all of my operational and combat movement. So let's go ahead. I'm going to break with my original plan, and let's go ahead, reconstitute Second Army. Purchase the other corps. And I'll go ahead and I'll get the cavalry. The cavalry may be able to help me out in Indochina, Burma area. They may be able to get behind units and affect their supply. So unfortunately, that means I don't have anything to put into research and development. Okay, so UK's got 85 left. They might be able to get something. I got to get them started on level 2 infantry weapons. I don't think, nope, just naval construction for ports. I could double that up. Submarine warfare. I mean, that's definitely a help. Now I'm going to go ahead and bank it. I got to get more UK forces out onto the map. All right, so looking at the United States. Now, they just had a bunch of breakthroughs. So let me see. Production technology, weapons, naval weaponry. Let me double. No, do I have enough? Yeah, 183. Let me double that up. As the United States is way behind there. So I've only got 33 left, so they're not going to be able to do anything more with that. All right, so 93 for the Communist Chinese. So they're about to have a breakthrough in anti-tank weapons. So let me go ahead and bank that. Next turn, maybe I can buy a unit for them. We've already done the Chinese. Okay, or I'm sorry, that was the Soviet Union. What am I talking about? Okay, So yeah, so bank the Soviets stuff. That's the Communist Chinese. So logistics, definitely. And Australia's only got 5 left, so nothing I can do there. All right, so that is going to do it for this turn. Let's go ahead and advance into the next turn. Garrison unit deploys at Singapore. So I believe that is a decision point. You decide whether you want to go ahead and buy these garrisons, if I remember correctly. Soviet scientists report artillery weapons up to 77%. And USSR develops industrial technology level 2. Chinese anti-aircraft development is now level 1. Unfortunately, I got to upgrade all these units in order to take advantage of it. Chinese infantry warfare level up to 1. Awesome. That means they'll fight better. They got better tactics. So they'll do more damage and they'll take less damage. Let me see, Australian amphibious warfare up to 75%. Now remember, in case you missed it last time, Australia is also New Zealand. They're lumped in there, and they picked up responsibility for the free Dutch forces over here in the Pacific. So there is our ledger for the up and coming turn. All right, now hopefully the sound is coming out better. Oh yeah, ooh, ouch. Okay, I was about to say please go after the PT boat. That way you're not going after anything more important. And unfortunately, they wiped the PT boat out. But yeah, so I'm working with this new sound microphone system, and I've noticed that in the Star Wars episodes, the Star Wars Rebellion episodes, the computer sound is a lot louder than I had intended it to be. Hopefully, we've got that worked out now for this episode. This is the first episode I'm doing where I've got the new settings for the sound. So it's supposed to, when I'm talking, if the computer is making some kind of sounds, it's supposed to automatically lower the volume of that. But it doesn't matter if the computer volume is already blasting. Okay, so the submarine there intercepted that cruiser, and happily their aircraft carrier that was nearby was not able to do any damage. So big push on Buna, and still pushing in the center here in China. All right, so the computer is going to do the Aleutians invasions. They just took Kiska. Now, I went ahead and I did that when I was playing the Japanese, and it said it was a morale drop for the United States. If Fall of Kiska has a minor impact on U.S. morale. All right, Allied raiders disrupting Burma-Japan convoys. That'll be that British submarine. I believe that's the Truant. Yep, PT-41 wiped out. Sorry, guys. And there is our activity summary. Yep, Truant took out 17. Awesome. And once again, Kiska is a minor morale loss. Okay, Coast Watchers. There are no Japanese units currently near Finschhafen. All right, 3rd Marine Special Forces deploys, and that is our only reinforcement for this turn. All right, so since we're starting out here on the West Coast, we'll go ahead and move all them guys first. All right, Enterprise is ready to move out. You know what? Oh, nuts, that was the general. I thought that was the, this guy here, the reinforcement. All right, I have to swap them out. Oops, sorry about that, General. He who wins the war is the one who makes the least mistakes. All right, I think that does it for all of our U.S. forces on this side of the map anyway. All right, slow them down a little bit. Let the rest of the guys catch up. So it looks like that Japanese submarines cleared the area a little bit. I mean, he may be out here somewhere, but this way, if there's any Japanese landing forces heading this way, I have a little bit of a barrier going on. I don't want to separate the battleships too much. And I know I got carriers up here, so I want to wait until I get my own carriers over here before we start going up here and trying to, I was going to say poke the bear, but I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about Russians. All right. So I think that's going to take care of this side of Australia. I can get these guys out of here. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take all of these Marine Corps units, the artillery and the tanks, and go ahead and hit Guadalcanal. But that means I got to get the tanks over here, get them up to full strength. Okay, so they can still access the port. All right. All right, so next turn, possibly, because I think my carriers, they won't be close enough. But I may go ahead and try it anyway, depending on the weather. If the weather is bad, then that's going to lower visibility. So next turn, or the turn after, because I want to go ahead and I want to get them up to full strength first. And I mean, I've got two generals here that I can use to help support them. So yeah, so all right, so not next turn, but the turn after. And the carriers will be here by then. And so it's on for Guadalcanal. All right, so let's do what we can for the Dutch forces. The submarine's going to have to wait its turn, unfortunately. Let's move the truant in case she's being hunted. Get her just a little bit closer there. All right, now before I spend anything for the UK on repairs and anything like that, let me go ahead and get some more forces for them. All right, so core, what do we got for strength? So, all right, attack values 4 and 1. Defense is 3 and 1. The Marines 4 and 3 attack and 3 and 2 defense. All right, so we'll buy the commandos. Can I upgrade them? Yes, I can. That's only going to leave 19 points for the UK. It's all right. Do we move? How's about we just swap them out? I'm happy with that. Use what little we got left to go ahead and get the Indomitables air wing back up to speed, back up to full strength. Oh, the fly. No, that's the settlement that gets the upgrade. All right, so the Flying Tigers get another elite reinforcement. Get him back up to strength. Now, their upgrade is just anti-aircraft defense. All right, so as important as that is, whoops, I did it again. As important as that upgrade is, right now I need to hold the line here, so reinforcing him is more important. I'm going to have that other cavalry unit coming out soon. Oh, cool, he didn't take any damage. Awesome. However, he did. Get the communists to hold the city there. Now, as much as I would like to keep trying to knock down their offensive capability, these guys need to reinforce. Get them up to full strength before I throw them on the line. Surprised at the amount of damage they did, but I have a feeling that has to do with differences in quality for technology right now, and then the better weapons tech as well. Okay, that should put a pretty good defense on the northern communist base here. Prevent the Japanese from moving any further up that road, hopefully. All right, so there's Central. Now the poor guys down here in Fuzhou. I had not forgotten them. All right, do we have anything else? I do not believe so. Yep, we do. Okay. All right, so Catch-a-Lot here can do a lot of damage to that cruiser, but unfortunately cannot sink her. Uh-oh. Pushed my luck just a little bit too hard. I should have just left her sitting down here. Couldn't help myself though, you know. All right, so I think that's going to do everything for movement and combat. So those Marines just deployed, so I can't get them out of there. And it looks like things are heating up down here. And the Japanese might be ready to make a breakthrough in central China here if I can't get some more forces out there. All right, so with that being said, so Australia's only got 9 points left. There's nothing I can do there. Communist Chinese only have 3 left. The Nationalist Chinese have 30 left. There's nothing I can do with any of those. Now, the Russians have 228. So let's go ahead and use that. Help improve their production a little bit more. All right, so that's going to leave 78. Yeah, I could put an anti-tank, but I'm going to save it because I want to. Next turn, I want to buy something for them. All right, United States has a little space. So still working on weapons 1. Got them working on naval weaponry, advanced fighters. You know what? Nope. I'm going to hold off a little bit longer for them and go ahead. So we got all the Marine Corps units out there. So who is next for boss power? I believe the mechanized. Yep. All right. So and the tanks are too, but okay, 4-3 for attack, 4-3 for defense. Yeah, so they do, and I can do that. All right, so that gets first armored on the way. Garrison or anti-air? And I already spent for the UK. All right. All right, so that is going to do it for this turn. That is also going to do it for this episode. As always, if you've made it this far, please leave a like and a comment. It helps grow the channel. Also, I'd like to hear your thoughts on strategy, um, options that you would take, things that I did you think were right, things that I did you think were not so bright, um, all of that wonderful stuff. Love to hear your comments. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Shooting for that 100 by end of the year. And if you know somebody that likes this kind of content, please share it with them. All right. All right. So once again, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next one.